Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the blog. There's a lot of different names they call what I'm doing here. I know it's going nuts. People are getting into it, getting involved in it. I know I am. Last night I went on the YouTube and I watched 6 tips on how to make your videos better. A lot of it, most of it, I did not understand, didn't have the equipment, didn't have the knowledge, but I learned 2 very important points. Number 1, if you're going to shoot a video from far away, make sure your equipment is safe. People will steal your equipment if you're very far away, if there's a lot of foot traffic. So that was a very, very important tip. And the other one was watch out for wind. Wind will blow your equipment down and possibly scratch the lens or damage the equipment. So those are the only tips that I could really take from it. I'm in Austin, Texas again. I hadn't made a blog in a few days. I was in transit and I could not do it. But I am back here in Austin. I want to apologize for the quality of the content. My car is still at the Oak Hill Body and Paint, so I'm limited on some of the destinations that I can blog from. You've seen this setup before. I am on the deck in the back of my rented room in the residence, and it is kind of an overcast day, so I best thought it would be just to play it safe, protect my equipment, and stay here where it's out of the elements. And if you're interested, I had today's, this is unbelievable. I had this paper here with the weather, today's weather, and I don't have it. Anyway, I'll just tell you what I remember from what I had written down about today's weather. It's about 73 degrees. I don't know what I don't want to guess. I think it's 24 degrees Celsius for our Canadian friends and the rest of the world. The dew point, I think, is, I'm not going to guess. I'll just tell you what I know I can remember. It's upstairs in my rented room. I'm not going to shut this video off and go back upstairs and get that paper. It just happens to me more than I'd like to think, Unbelievable. Anyway, the weather is what the weather is. I know the moon is going to be invisible tonight. It's a new phase, a new moon. The moon is too close to the sun, and they rise and set at the same time, and as a result, the moon will be, especially if it's cloudy anyway, you won't be able to see the moon, but even if it's a starlit night, you will not be able to see the moon tonight. It's a new phase, a new moon, and it'll be a great time to see the stars, a great opportunity without the moon to really get out and see those planets and those stars tonight. So if you're into stargazing, tonight is the night. Tonight is the night. What else did I remember about the weather? The wettest place in the world probably is Hawaii. They're having torrential downpours and flooding in Maui. So stay out of Hawaii, and if you're in Hawaii, I don't know what to tell you. What else about the weather? I think the winds are out of the east. It's 8 miles an hour. The temperature, I said, is 73 degrees. The UV rays, since it's overcast, is only a 3. The air quality is moderate. That's it. I'm not going to waste any more of your time trying to figure out what I wrote down, and the paper I said is up in my rented room. I just want to bring up a few things today. This is something that was spring of 2021, so this is quite some new information. Some information is not as new as you would believe to be new, but it's still accurate information, whether it's new or old. And this happens to be some new information. The national parks have rolled out a new welcome mat to special groups of visitors. As of November 2020, both veterans and Gold Star families and their guests, anybody in the car with them, can go into the national parks, wildlife refuges, and thousands of other public lands managed by the Department of Interior for free. So I think this is great. Give back to the veterans. People have given up their lives, the possibility of giving up their lives for their country. And so that's going to be good. All the other things you'll have to pay for with camping and lodging and all the other regular fees, but the entrance fees for all national parks and associated federally funded locations will be free for our veterans and our Gold Star families. So that's great. Very good. I like that. I like that a lot. I see how windy it is. Things are just blowing all over the place. You're probably going, man, this guy is really not organized. When he puts that camera on, he's really not. I mean, it's just as organized as my view is. How's that? You know, you want it perfect? You want perfect? Go to the cable. Go to cable. Go to the 150 million stations of content, and they'll make it just. It'll be seamless. And even the commercials will be seamless. Everything will be just perfect because they do it 150 times till they get it right. Strange things about the United States. I thought I'd bring this up. Some of them you can believe, some of them you won't want to believe. Some of them you'll have to check on your own to see if I'm believing or you believe me. So believe what you want to believe. Check. Oh, there's the sun trying to peek out. Strange facts about the United States of America. More people live in New York City than 40 of the 50 states. More people live in New York City than 40 of the 50 states. Does that mean 40 states have less population than New York City? Or does it mean 40 states? Well, that goes back to 20 dwarfs do 20 handstands on the carpet. 20 dwarfs do 20 handstands on the carpet. Anyway, more people live in New York City than 40 of the 50 states. I don't know. The word Pennsylvania is misspelled on the Liberty Bell. The word Pennsylvania is misspelled on the Liberty Bell. There's enough water in Lake Superior to drown out, to make, 1 foot of liquid to cover all of North and South America. 1 foot of liquid. Well, isn't the liquid in Lake Superior water? Why wouldn't they say water instead of liquid? Are you talking about the water from Lake Superior and some other liquids? Wouldn't it be just easy to say water? So there's enough water in Lake Superior to cover North and South America in 1 foot of liquid. And oh my God, I'm getting a show behind me. Our little friend, the bulldog, or the French bulldog, or the English bulldog, or whatever the bulldog it is very nicely. You can't see it, thank God. Has decided to use the bathroom within my eyesight. I cannot miss it because he's right behind the camera. Thank you. Thanks you for that visual. Longview, Washington. If you can believe this, there are treetop bridges so squirrels can cross the road. That's right. You can look that up. Look at Longview, Washington. They've built bridges so squirrels can safely cross the road. Squirrels were a big deal when I was an animal control officer in California. One day I picked up, I think, 3 or 4 squirrels in one day, and you could tell that it was a fresh accident with the car because the squirrel was very rubbery, and it was warm when I picked it up, with my gloves, and I used protection, and it was rubbery. It wasn't hard, after rigor mortis hadn't set in yet. And one day I was running here, picking up. It was like a bad day for squirrels because they get in the street and then they don't know which way to run or they freeze. It's just bad timing. I mean, it just shoots across the road and the tire comes along and it's curtains for the squirrels. So it's kind of sad. I think more squirrels lose their lives to motor vehicle traffic than old age. It seems. So you'll have to Google that, and you can see the bridges yourself. They built bridges. So these. What about the raccoons? What about the possums? Do they get bridges too? Can they use the same bridges as the squirrels? Who knows? I don't know. These are questions everybody can ask everybody. In 1872, Russia sold Alaska to the United States for 2 cents an acre, or where you come from, hectares. Hectares is still a popular name throughout the world for land. I think America uses acres, but the rest of the world is still using hectares. Hectares. 2 cents an acre or hectare for Alaska. I think they pay too much. 1872. 400 years. It would take you 400 years to spend a night in all the hotel rooms in Las Vegas. This is one that I can't understand. I think it might be just promotional a promotional endorsement. Las Vegas never wants to let anybody in America know of or forget about that there's a Las Vegas. They're always coming up on promotions on the television and newspapers and periodicals yeah, Las Vegas doesn't want you to forget there's a Las Vegas. Anyway, they said it'll take 400 years it would take you 400 years to stay in every room in Las Vegas. Yeah, okay. Western Michigan, home of the giant lavender limbreth. You can see it on Google Space or Google Earth. You can see it. That's how large it is. Huge lavender limbreth. There's the wind. I've weighed down my tripod. I don't think I'll have any problem. Now that's something else. Morgan Island off the coast of South Carolina is full of wild monkeys and is not open to humans. You can Google that for yourself. Come on over here, sweetie. Look what I got over here. Oh, she likes to come out, and she likes to sit out here on the deck when there's another person out. They don't like the cat to be out here by itself. They wanted to have somebody out here. So I'm out here now so I can let the cat go around. So Morgan Island off the coast of South Carolina is full of wild monkeys, but it's not open to the public. The concrete in Hoover Dam, there's so much concrete in the Hoover Dam right near Las Vegas, outside Las Vegas. You could build a 2-lane highway from San Francisco to New York City. Yeah, that's how much concrete is in the Hoover Dam. If you get a chance, Google, get on YouTube and watch one of those shows about, one of them is pretty good, Modern Marvels, and how they built the Hoover Dam is just amazing, just amazing. Boston, they say, has the worst drivers in the United States. The 200 biggest cities in the United States, Boston is the worst. And did you know what people in Boston drive with the middle finger up the whole time? Did you know that? Anyway, and the best drivers were in Kansas. Well, there's nobody in Kansas. There's nobody in Kansas. You just go along, you're not going to see anybody for I don't know how many hours. I mean, of course, that's going to be the best place. Kansas, another Kansas-related item. Kansas has enough wheat to feed the whole world for 2 weeks. Well, what are you going to do for the rest of the month? What are you going to do for the rest of the year? We need to push that up a little bit, wouldn't you say? Oregon's Crater Lake is so deep that it could fit 6 Statue of Liberty stacked on top of one another. 6. That's how deep Crater Lake is in Oregon. Never been there, but the pictures seem just beautiful. Beautiful. The Empire State Building has its own zip code. The Empire State Building in New York City has its own zip code. And zip code, if you don't know, is called Zone Improvement Program. ZIP. ZIP, Zone Improvement Program. It was a way that the post office was able to better serve the community by breaking down the different communities and areas with a zip code. It made it more efficient, and I hope the post office gets their act together. And Los Angeles Coroner's Office has a gift shop. It's called Skeletons in the Closet, if you can believe that. A gift shop in the coroner's office in Los Angeles. So you go and you identify your family member, and then you go into the gift shop, and I guess you forget about your family member for a while and just do some creative shopping. Maybe you get the blanket with the outline of a dead body, or maybe you get a little skeleton and bones, or maybe you get a little autopsy table. I don't know. So that was interesting. Library of Congress, the Library of Congress has 838 miles of bookshelves. Can you believe this? And I don't think any of those congressmen or senators have even read a book, judging from their behavior recently. And they say that the bookshelves could stretch from Houston to Chicago. The bookshelves of the Library of Congress could stretch from Houston, Texas to Chicago, Illinois. That's how long the bookshelves are. Rock Point, Massachusetts in 1922, some clown built his whole house out of newspapers and the furniture too. all out of newspapers. So this guy must have been a real, you know, fruitcake. He built his whole house. It's still there today if you want to look it up. Rockport, Massachusetts, 1922. Whole house of newspapers and furniture. Denver Airport is twice the size of Manhattan. Manhattan, you know, is one of the 5 boroughs of New York City. It's Manhattan, the Bronx, Staten Island, Queens, and Brooklyn. And Manhattan is New York City, you know, between the Hudson River and the East River. And the Denver Airport is twice the size. That's how big the Denver Airport is. Denver Airport. 1893, there was an amendment. Some clown decided that he wanted to rename the United States of Earth. The United States of Earth. But that was rejected wholeheartedly, thank God. Another loony bin, another elected loony bin. South Florida is the only place in the world where alligators and crocodiles live in peace. South Florida are the only place on the planet we know of that alligators and crocodiles live in peace. And I wish more of us human two-legged beings could live in peace. And everybody just mind your own business. I think that's the big problem. I've mentioned it before on numerous occasions. People in America just can't seem to mind their own business. And if people don't mind their business, that's a recipe for disaster. That's a brew for a big host of just problems after problems after problems, you know? People who own cake shops don't want to sell cakes to people that are married to the same sex. You know? Just sell the cake. What do you care what they're doing? It's their life. You're in the cake business. Don't get so crazy trying to tell everybody how to live their life, you know? Just sell the cake. What do you care if they got 3 heads and 14 legs? Just sell the cake. You know, everybody's taking a stand. Everybody's taking a stand in America. Stand down. That's what I say. Stand down. All right, I don't mean to get excited about that one, but smallest county in the U.S. is Callaway County. It's in Hawaii, on the island of Molokai. It used to be a lepers colony, and some former patients still live there today. And I was on an airplane once with a guy, a leper, and he had no arms, so I used the armrest. I didn't have to worry about whose armrest it was. You know, do I want to use this armrest? Or do I not want to use this armrest? The guy had no arms. There was no problem. I had no problem. It was one of the most enjoyable flights I had because I didn't have to worry about somebody else's arm hanging over the armrest. And so there was a leprosy colony in Hawaii, and it's also the smallest county in the United States. Callaway, K-A-L-A-W-A-O County. Google it. Google it. In Colmer, California, this is a small little town right near San Francisco International Airport. The dead people outnumber the living 1,000 to 1. They have a large cemetery there, and I guess the dead people outnumber the living people 1,000 to 1, if you can believe that. Only 1/3 of the U.S. $100 bills are inside the United States. Yeah, because they're useless. They're useless. You ever have a $100 bill? It's practically useless. There's no retail store or outlet that will accept them. If you have a $100 bill, you know, you're either buying a car or buying a motorcycle or something, cash. Otherwise, they think you're some kind of drug dealer because you have a $100 bill in America. Why even make $100 bills? Nobody takes them. Nobody accepts them. I mean, they accept $100 bills in the Philippines at the money exchange, but in America, oh no, we don't accept any bills higher than $20. Then why make a $100 bill? Jeez, it's terrible. You know, you want to give people a $100 bill, you can't, because what are they going to do with it? They got to go to a bank, they got to get it, they got to break it down, because nobody in America will accept a $100 bill. Outrageous. At any one time, there were 5,000 commercial airplanes in the sky. I think everybody knows that. I don't think that's true today with COVID-19, so that's inaccurate. This guy from Texas, everything's big in Texas. This guy named Jimmy Luckley, Luckey, Lucky. He's got the largest signature. I guess he's got a big farm, and he wrote his name, Jimmy Luckey. He's a Texas farmer. It's the biggest signature in human history. Human history, this guy. So this guy likes everything big, big. Way to go, Jimmy. And you can see it from space. That's how big it is. But the bourbon barrels in Kentucky outnumber the state's population by more than 2 million. That's right. The barrels of bourbon in Kentucky outnumber the people who live in Kentucky by 2 million. So they're making whiskey for the whole world. People don't realize it. You go any place in the whole world to a hotel bar, and they'll have your Budweiser, they'll have your Jack Daniels, they'll have all your brand names that you're so familiar with here in your backwater little towns all over the world. So I guess Texas was big on oil. Kentucky is big on bourbon. That's right, whiskey. Probably the whiskey capital of the whole world. I don't know. There's an 83-year-old woman in Nebraska, Monowi, Nebraska, Monowi, Nebraska, and she's the only person that lives in the town. She's the librarian, the mayor, and the bartender, and she's the only place with a population of 1. So go out there and visit her and give her some company. Wake her up. She's probably falling asleep. She probably sleeps all day long like a house cat. There's nobody there. Idaho's rivers, they got so many rivers in Idaho, it says that they can cross the United States 40 times. I don't know. Seems kind of far-fetched to me. Idaho has so many rivers that they can cross the United States coast to coast 40 times. I don't know. I don't know if I believe that one. And there's a highway in Lancaster, California, that they put the pavers in such a way that when you drive over it, it's the William Tell Overture. And that William Tell Overture is that famous song. Anyway, the way they place the grooves in the road, they say that it'll play the tune William Tell Overture when you drive over the highway. So I don't know about that either. We'll see about that. And since it's Saturday, I think it's important. I want to add a new segment to the blog or the YouTube channel or the presentation, and that's the obituaries. I find obituaries fascinating to see people that have accomplished a lot of things in their life. And I'm not going to read the whole obituary because it's too long and it's too time consuming, and I don't want to take that much time. So what I'm going to do every Saturday, and this is a segment that has legs. I mean, it has legs because people are dying left and right, and they're always going to keep dying. It's just nobody gets out of here alive. You're going to die. You're going to die. Anyway, so I'm going to try every Saturday to have my obituary segment on this presentation. And today we have the Shakespearean actor who starred in The Sound of Music, Christopher Plummer, and he was 1929, so he was up there. Again, I failed to put the age. I usually do that. I didn't do it. Sorry, you have to figure it out yourself. 1929 to 2021, and he was that famous actor in The Sound of Music, and I'll just read the last paragraph. This way, no one will start screaming at me through the World Wide Web. And it says, Plummer enjoyed something of a late career movie renaissance. He gave one of his most authoritative performances as the real-life newsman Mike Wallace in 1999's The Insider, said the so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and played a psychologist in 2001's Oscar-winning A Beautiful Mind. Plummer received the first Oscar nomination of his long career for the 2009's The Last Station, and finally won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for 2010's Beginners, in which he portrays a terminally ill widower who comes out to his son as gay. Addressing the golden statuette in his acceptance speech, the 82-year-old Plummer said, "You're only 2 years older than me, darling. Where have you been all my life?" So this was a great, great actor, and it took him almost till the end of his life to get an Oscar. And this is what makes me so crazy about people like Tom Hanks, who's got 15 or 20 Oscars. I don't know how many Oscars Tom Hanks had. But there are so many great, talented actors and actresses that deserve Oscars. It should be like a 2-Oscar limit. You can only get 2 Oscars, and then you're ineligible to receive any more Oscars. I mean, what fun is it when one guy has 15, 20 Oscars, and then you get a guy like Christopher Plummer, who finally gets an Oscar? I mean, there's just so many talented, really talented actors that deserve Oscars, and let's stop giving it to the same person. And the other obituary is George Schultz, 1920, 2021. He's up in the 90s. I think both of these characters are. I'm not going to do the math now. I'm not going to take the time to do the math now. 1920 to 2021, George Schultz. And he was a diplomat, Secretary of State with Ronald Reagan, and he was a good, just a good old-fashioned politician, not some of the shenanigans and clowns we have today, these imposters. You know, I don't call them politicians anymore. What they are is they're political operatives. They're hitmen hired by political action groups and paid. You know, if you do what we tell you to do, and we'll make you a governor, we'll make you a senator, we'll make you a congressman. You do exactly what we tell you to do. Whether you believe it or not, whether you think it's right or not. You're not a politician. You're our political operative. And that's what's so sad about America today. They're not politicians anymore. They're political operatives. They're hitmen. They don't think for themselves. They're doing what their political cronies have paid them to do. And I just had to get that out there. You know, there are some good politicians in Washington, there's no doubt about it. But all over the world, and especially here in America today, they cease to be politicians, because a politician is supposed to care about the people that they serve. But these people, they're animals. They're animals of a different color. They're beholden to the people and the money that put them there, and they could give a hoot about Tom and Dave and Bill and Sue and the Barnaby family, or the Christian family, or that family, or the Garrity family, or the Donnelly family. They don't care about anybody's family. They care about their own hides and the power they wield and the power they don't want to lose. You know, if you're a low-paying worker or a factory worker, of course you're going to be afraid of a job that you might lose, and you'll do everything to keep that job. But these people are afraid to even say what's right, because even though they're wealthy, they don't want to lose that power, that disorientated, toxic power that they wield. And it's unpleasant, to say the least. Anyway, he was a great statesman, and his last paragraph is much shorter. After Reagan left office, Schultz returned to Bethel. Bethel is a big company that he worked for. Retiring in 2006, he remained active both in academia and politics, said the so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, but called his time in government the highlight of his career. I can look back on things I was involved in that made a difference. See? I can look back in things I was involved in that made a difference, he said in 2015. Really, that is what life is about. You are trying to make a difference. So those are the obituaries for this Saturday, the 13th of March. I hope everybody's doing well wherever you are in the world and your weather. And let's pray for everybody who needs praying for, and all what do I say when I say all the people that need praying for all over the world for whatever reason. Man-made, natural disaster, sickness, mental illness, casualty, war, conflict, crime, all the things that can happen to you once you step on the planet Earth and you move around. So keep safe, have a great weekend. Tomorrow is Sunday, the beginning of a brand new week. Everybody's excited about a brand new week. And I hope you enjoyed this segment. If you like it, subscribe to it. If you don't like it, subscribe to it. If you have some friends, tell them to subscribe to it. And I think there's a little bell you can hit too. I see that a lot on the YouTube videos. You can hit that bell, and then you'll be notified anytime that I start mispronouncing words, getting things mixed up, and leaving paperwork up in my rented room, and just doing a hatchet job here on my blog. So thanks for being there. Thanks for being you, and we'll see you on the rebound. You want to say hello to the camera? Come on. You want to say hello to the camera? This is the big cat this is the big cat that comes out. Can you see the big cat that comes out? All right, come down. I like a cat that acts like a dog. Some cats, my sister had a cat once. You come in the house up in Putnam Valley, that darn thing would run under the bed and stay under the bed the whole time until everybody left, I guess. I don't like skittish cats. I like cats that act like dogs. You'll never hate a cat that acts like a dog. Cats that act like cats, well, you know what I'm talking about. Coming around.